everyone, welcome back. This is Rick Russell, and I want to welcome you to the 2021 Lake Superior Open Round 3. This is a chase card coverage, and we have these four players: Alex Russell, Jared Johnson, Ben Kroll, and Paul Oman. And I want to introduce you to my sons, Josh Russell and Caleb Russell. They will be joining me for commentary from the beautiful Mont du Lac Resort in Superior, Wisconsin. This is the St. Louis River winding around and eventually dumping into Lake Superior.
On chase card, like I said, we got Alex. He is 6 strokes off of Kale, and one off of him is Jared, then one off of him is Ben, and one off of him is Paul. So these guys are all trying to chase down that top card today.
Yeah, fun to watch this course today. It's not quite as much elevation as the course that they played first round. Here we got hole 1. Little Annie shot or sidearm sort of hole.
So Alex is going to start off from Vancouver, Washington, one of our personal favorites. He slid this thing through these leaves and it just kept on going. I was surprised it got all the way up to where it did. Followed by Jared Johnson out of Minnesota, a somewhat local player, at least in the same region. A nice shot coming in there until that tree got in his way. It was going to be shaping up pretty nice. And then the third guy on our card is Ben Kroll, also a local regional guy. We've seen Ben on some of the other coverage that we've been able to do for this tournament, so if you haven't watched that yet, you'll get to see him. Ben's got a great turnover shot.
Yeah, it doesn't throw as many sidearms as some of the guys on this card.
And then finally, Paul is bringing up the rear on this tee pad. I've been impressed watching Paul. A very deliberate stroke that he has, and oh, that I could learn to slow down my stroke that much.
So smooth.
Yeah.
It's got a great putting stroke too.
Jared from probably 80 gives it a good bit.
That thing was looking sweet. Ben from a similar spot, just a hair closer, but definitely outside of the circle. Also gives it a decent run.
What do you say, 55, something like that?
Yeah, it's pushing Circle 2's edge for sure.
Decent bid. Seeing a lot of floaty bids early here.
Great hit by Paul there.
Yeah, Paul rings up the only birdie on the card. Going to be hearing a lot of the leaves as our players are walking around today. Here's Jared cleaning up his par. Alex doing the same. We have 3 pars on the first hole, and Paul being the only bird.
Hole 2 here is a par 4. Pretty much straight down the gap there, but there's kind of a big Annie shot or flip up sidearm. You could really attack it a lot of different ways. Whatever you can get to fly straight for as long as you can though.
Yeah, nice skip too.
Alex likes to throw a lot of forehands. If you know him, you know that to be true. Tried to turn that thing over, couldn't quite get it turned over, but did get a nice kick into the middle of the fairway anyway.
A little early the other way, I believe. Ben's got this stand-up shot pretty dialed. A little early there, but you'll see him throw that a lot in the woods.
Jared's good at that shot. I've seen him throw it well many times. That was not his best effort. He got that one up in the air a little bit too much, but he really has great control in that forehand shot that he uses to get it out of trouble.
Leave Mako there, just trying a little stand up and hold it a bit.
That was coming in nicely too, until he clipped that late tree.
Touchy little shot there.
Paul really with the only drive that put him in easy birdie shape. Pretty easy up and down here for him for his three. The other guys are gonna just struggle to get up there in par, I think, on this one.
Ben looked like he wanted to float that one in there. He made a few long ones in the first round.
That was really well done.
That was. Looking nervously as it starts to roll out a little bit, but it ended up being okay. It shouldn't be a problem for him. So Alex at distance 2 holes in a row for the long birdie look.
Got that one up. Left with a touch of a comebacker.
No problem.
Ben for his par.
And as these guys clean up, just a note that on the audio, I've got comments about, hey, we'd like to hear the players, we'd like to hear the ambient sounds. So left the ambient audio up pretty loud in the mix so that you can hear what these guys are saying most of the time, except for when I don't want you to hear what they say occasionally. So on hole number 2, par, bogey for Ben, and a birdie for Paul. So Paul starts off with a nice bird.
Hole 3 here, par 5. It's more of a placement shot. You can get some distance on this first one, but you're just setting yourself up to be able to throw a big one through the gap then there, I believe. It's been a bit since we were out here.
Ian Burchett actually got the eagle on this hole, which I have no idea how he would have done that. This is a long hole and winding, and I need to talk to him and find out just exactly what he did to get that 3. The general idea is you want to get to that gap that the disc just skipped by. You see the Mando arrows there. And guys want to usually leave it in the gap on that road, so they've got a nice look to cover a lot of distance on their second shot. They're not really going for a lot on this one. Alex knows he's going to be going for his second shot from the woods. You can tell right out of his hand he knew it.
Airmailed that one just a little bit.
That one fairway tree is very well placed.
Like Jared might be pinched off a little bit for his second shot there. He didn't quite get it around to the left as much as he would have liked. Same with
Needs
Ben.
to fade.
A little straight there.
They might be back from those Mando trees. Oh yeah, Jared's in much better shape than I thought he was.
Yeah. Really good shot.
Pretty nice shot to get out in the open there.
That's well done.
Great job just to get out of there.
He's got to be happy with that. And here's the pinched off look that we were talking about. He's at least through the gap though, and out there in two.
Paul almost in optimal position here.
Well, if you're ever going to throw a forehand, this would have been it, but no forehand for Paul there. He's definitely more left than he wants to be there.
This looks good.
Yeah, like that.
Maybe a little early.
He's up there to give himself a look.
Jared's really in quite nice shape after two shots.
He'll be down there with a look at a bird. Paul patent pending again here. Maybe not quite, but kind of awkward pinched spot again. Tough to see where that one got. Ooh, he got knocked down a bit early.
Yeah, I couldn't really see that one either until see where he's at now.
Thought he might have had it. Decent bid from 80 range. Great putt by Alex there.
Smooth stroke there.
Oh no. Had a couple of floaty bids early on and tried to jam that previous putt in and left himself with a little bit coming back. Alex with the lone bird there on hole 3. Hole 4 here. 308 dogleg to the right. And then we've got the pin kind of on... Oh, I'm thinking of a different hole. Just tucked back over here.
The price you pay when you don't do the narration right after the tournament when you filmed it.
Yeah.
It's been a while. Those memories start to go.
Alex Max, I believe.
Pretty easy hole for the guys as far as distance goes. Just a, a little forehand hyzer shot, as you saw from Alex there, a turnover, but many obstacles in the way. Lots of smaller trees in this fairway. Paul got that one up too high. Whoa.
Need a little more height under that one.
That looked pretty good.
Kind of surprised to not see Jared throw a sidearm there. He's thrown a few good ones.
Yeah, he had a pretty good forehand shot.
Good up there.
Can have a long look for his birdie there. Jared with the best, longest drive of the group so far. he and Alex were in similar positions here.
That one looked pretty good.
Definitely had his line right.
Yeah, Paul with about maybe 28-footer, something like that.
Definitely testy. He is so money at these putts. These circles edge putts. From what I've seen, he's very consistent.
His drives and his putts are both very mechanical.
Yeah.
Slow and methodical.
Pars around for our card on hole number 4. So hole number 5 is a par 3, 354-foot hole, and one of the easier ones for these guys. It's just really a pretty straight hyzer shot out of a gap that's quite wide for them. Alex gets it out there in pretty nice shape.
A little straight out of bend there.
I thought we were going to see one like we saw on hole 3 for Ben there, just straight, but the thing did hook up for him at the end.
Oh yeah. Oh, getting a hole behind it. Oh, nice shot.
Jared, pretty nice looking shot. Jared has sneaky distance watching him play. And really all of these guys, if got Paul going first and knocking that putt down, all these guys ended up in better shape than I expected.
Nice putt.
Yeah, Ben must have got some late action there. Missed. Hooking up left. Great hole.
Hole number 6 is the toughest hole on the course. Played nearly a half a stroke over par for our field. And we want to congratulate Jackson Griffith, who had the only birdie in the 81-man field today, believe it or not. That's crazy.
Jeez.
One birdie. And we're going to go with no eagles.
Yeah, it looks like you really just want to make sure to hit that initial gap, whichever one you pick. I would have scooted up there pretty nicely. Uh-oh.
Yeah, man.
Kind of looked like it fought through a bit.
Looking a little tight, but looks like he got more distance than I figured he would.
This looks pretty good if it can get clean.
It does.
Wow, quite pinched over here.
Yeah.
Not where you want to be.
Wow.
Jeez.
That was
good
impressive.
stuff from that spot.
Yeah. It was a tough spot. You kind of get an idea, at least for that area, why this hole has teeth like it does. Paul, good
Giving that a
position.
bid.
Pretty easy. approach for Paul. I love Jared's commitment to the jump putt. Watch him leap. I did a still shot on one of those and actually sent it to him. He's just totally committed.
Full extension.
Yeah.
Alex to clean up that par.
After such a nice approach, too, out of trouble. Couldn't get the job done.
Pars for the rest of the card there, though.
So following the toughest hole on the course, we have the second hardest hole versus par. More bogeys on this one than any other hole. In fact, 34%, a little over a third of our field bogeyed this hole. 410 foot par 3. It just keeps winding around to the left into this gap. And then a fairly level and open green once you get up there.
Tricky one to film here.
Yeah, it is. You can't really get a sense from the tee pad of where the fairway's going. If you were to stand out in that field, you can get a good look right down that fairway. We'll see how our boys end up after Alex's shot here.
Nice angle on it.
Another smooth little approach from Paul there. This is a brutal par 3, though.
It is.
Yeah, definitely a tweener hole even for these big boys.
You're in the middle of the fairway. Things are fairly open for that second shot, but if you get off to the side, there's a lot of woodage there to contend with.
Good shot.
See our guys cleaning things up here.
Not a bad hole there just to survive it.
We'll go from the toughest hole and then the next to the toughest hole, number 7, to the easiest hole on the course. Number 8, 220 feet. It's just a little pitch up for these guys onto a mound. There's some logs off on the left. I remember Noah getting into those logs and having a really awkward putt. But there's not much trouble for these guys on this one. Definitely one they're expecting and believing they will catch.
That'll be a tester up the hill.
Nice looking shot.
For being such a short little must-get hole for these guys, it does have some awkward elements on the green, like you were talking about, with that large tree stump and the shrubberies.
Ben was right on line, but didn't quite get it there.
Good finish by Jared there.
tough spot to film, but I'm going to guess Alex makes this. All the boys are able to pick up their birdies except for Ben, I believe. Ben got his par. Well, we'll get his par here. Alright, Ben, don't let me down. Not too much to this one, just 344 foot par 3 straight out of the gap. If you can get out the gap into the field, pretty straight shot, give yourself a birdie look. That's the idea here.
Great.
Oh.
Playing that little flip up and just something a little too flippy, or maybe a little wind out there. Oh no. Early from.
Jared's not going to be happy with that one. Hopefully he got out beyond the trees, so he's not having to go through all that stuff again.
Is this going to hook up? It's good.
I can tell by the look on his face.
He got caught up by that branch hanging out over the fairway. Ben chose that little stand-up shot. Ooh, you went flippier there than I expected.
Yeah, much like Paul's, that thing did not hook up like they wanted it to. Remember, Jared took a lot of time with this when I was doing the editing. He had a pretty difficult opportunity there, but I think he got a decent shot up there.
Good looking bid there. Ben from probably a hundo.
No way!
Goodness.
Yeah.
Good
Sheesh.
stuff.
Very nice, Ben.
Monster jump putt.
Little love for the basket there. Let's take another look at it. Just pretty all the way. Almost looked like it was going to drop off there to the left, but caught that weak side coming in, and Ben's a happy man. It's a little kudos from Big Al.
Decent bid from, it's like maybe just outside the circle. Ben with the sweet bird there, pars for the rest of the boys.
Hole number 10, 299 foot par 3. We see it coming out into the sunlight here, and then making a right. And on this little bluff, a little drop off back behind it. That turnover? No.
Uh-oh. This could be a terrible spot over there, depending on the look he gets out. Maybe an overcorrection after flipping something a little much on the last hole. Misfire from Paul there too. Both these guys have been throwing those turnovers all day. Looked like a good angle there, just got hung up by a branch.
So Alex steps up after 3 drives. It didn't fare too well. And he's able to pure the gap pretty well and get it out there nicely.
Nice shot, Alex.
Ben from a better spot than it looked like he would probably be. Needs to get stable.
Wow. That's tough. Paul's really going to have to turn this thing over a bit.
It's a very Paul shot, though.
Yep.
What's that, Paul?
He's pretty happy with that.
Yeah, looked like a pretty good result from where it was.
The full send from Jared. A little high. No harm done.
See these animals all over these courses. They have an archery event, and they actually use those as part of their annual archery event called Bow Fest that they do. Oh,
Back-to-back sidearms from Ben.
wow. It almost rang that thing up, too. That was a wonderful, wonderful look at it. Cleans it up for his bogey. Alex able to pick up his bird, Ben getting his bogey, and the other fella's picking up pars on hole number 10. Hole number 11, third easiest hole on the course. 57% of the field took birdies on this one. It is a shorter par 4, so see it winds around, heads a little bit off to the left for the guys. A pretty well-defined fairway. Coming in at 384 feet.
Is that a sidearm roller?
I don't think he rolled it. I think he was just kind of chopping wood there with that forehand. Well, I'm not certain. It was hard to see for me too. It's another one of those holes that is difficult. You can see Paul's kicking up there at the end. Difficult to film with one camera. You're able to have two cameras. You can get that catch cam and kind of see better what's going on. I think the boys are just trying to, a lot of them are throwing skip shots, just trying to get around that corner and out into the fairway.
Looked like both Jared and Ben did that successfully. Uh-oh, this needs to flip. Still up there for a putt, but a little more than you want from that spot, I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be too happy with that approach shot.
Great job by Ben there to get it up close. Paul looked like he kind of wanted to run it, but easy 3 from there. This is an eagle, technically.
Yeah. Kind of get an idea of why this is such an easy hole. So many birdies were found on this one. Once they get around that initial corner, it's really pretty easy up and down for these guys. Here's our tournament director, Brian Hoggergan, showing up. Always looking for the camera, Brian. I want to give kudos to Brian. He did a great job running this tournament and getting the whole place in great shape along with his crew. The courses were in wonderful condition.
They're in the middle of building another course out there.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing property if you guys ever get the chance to go check it out.
Yeah, it's very, very beautiful. Over 70% of the field took their 3 on this hole, so we saw a whole bunch of pars from our guys on this one. Par 3, 423 feet.
Maybe a little tight. He was watching it. That was high, maybe. I did not see it.
Looks pretty nice.
Oh, beautiful shot, Ben.
Thank you.
Good job, Ben. That's pretty.
Thank you.
Probably the most open fairway on the course here, just about. And Alex did not find it.
Challenging out here for him. Looks like he gets out, but just barely.
Another tricky spot here.
Yeah.
Man, couldn't even swing.
One of those rare forehands per Paul you won't see very often. Probably about the same frequency as Mr. Conrad, right?
Good look at.
And with a nice run on his approach shot.
Yeah, definitely would have been a bonus birdie for him there.
That looks a long look to save his par. Can't quite get it there.
Yeah,
Good par save there.
clean up.
Bogey for Alex, and a few decent pars from the rest of them.
Number 13, a little longer, 518 feet, a par 4. Fairly open most of the way, and then it takes a pretty hard dogleg left. Drops into this little canyon, and then up on the other side of the hill, you'll find your basket. So guys are trying to get, where they can get around that corner on their second shot and give themselves hopefully a birdie look. The field averaged almost exactly an even par 4 on this hole.
This hole's out and around there at the top of the hill.
That'd be probably in pretty good shape there. Jared looks like he's a little bit tight. Yeah.
Might be a little pinched off on that right side there.
Might actually see a sidearm from Ben there. Sidestep the trouble there. Looks like a really nice spot to be there.
Dangerous one. Ooh, you can see it flare right up there.
Yeah, curled right around present track. Look, that was very nicely done. Wow, Ben ended up in better shape than I thought he would be. Pretty good lie and nice shot.
Nice Ben.
Alex not quite as good as I thought he would be. A little pinched off there. He's going to have to really hyzer this thing. See how he does. Jared's just trying to salvage that par now. Get up and down here. That's a really nice shot there.
Yeah, that's well done.
Get him his par, and here's where Alex ended up. Just also looking to get up and down. Nice pitch up there.
Should do for his par. All with the bird look. Got a little of the cabbage on the way out, it looked like.
Those are the lengths that Paul's been knocking down today and normally knocks down, but Not that time.
Great birdie from Ben there. Couple well-placed shots.
Hole number 14, another par 4, and that double tree is just right in front of you off that tee pad. So for par 4, this is not a very long hole, but as you see, there are small trees everywhere you look. Little tiny gaps to try and hit. So very challenging one. Off the tee, there's two main options that these guys are going to go for. You got one going each way of the big tree in the middle. First two backhand throwers are definitely going for the right gap.
I can even see Alex going the flex down the right gap with a sidearm. He likes to throw that shot.
Jarrett's looking left. I don't know if he's going to... I don't know.
Going for that hyzer flip a little bit low.
I thought he was looking at that crazy line over on the other side. Alex lining up the only forehand of the group. Let's see which way he goes. Yeah, it's almost...
Oh, he does go for that little flexi line.
It's almost like you know your brother. All up first, just trying to get as much mileage up this fairway as you can with all those trees, and it's
got about 200 trees between him and the basket there.
pretty tough.
Alex from an awkward spot on the right side of the fairway over here, I believe.
Get the full commitment from him.
Ben from a pretty good spot there. He'll give himself a long look, I believe, at a birdie.
It's a nice approach through the gap to get, I think, his par look. Nice touch.
Alex with a long birdie look here. Really just pitching that up. No harm getting out of here with your 4. Good 4 from Jared there.
So got our overall scores. These guys are stacked up at 13, 14, 15, and 16 down right now. So they've got the real battle going as we come into the end here.
Oh, that was a bird for Paul there. I was thinking it was pars around.
Pretty impressive bird there.
Yeah.
Hole number 15, also one of the tougher holes, averaged almost a quarter stroke over par. Quite the drop down into this little valley here, and then get up on top. It's not a real long hole, but again, lots of difficulty to be had.
Very guarded green here.
Yeah.
Keep turning.
That's good. That's good. Beautiful shot.
I think Paul will be kind of happy with that shot. He got up there quite well. So a similar try from Ben, but looks like he didn't get it turned over enough, did he?
Yeah, early again there. Did he sneak through there?
Hopefully he was trying something new there, going super slow in his form. No, I just decided to slow him down a little bit for kind of a form check thing.
Yeah, Alex.
It's like,
Yeah,
Alex,
nice shot. Nice shot, Alex.
you got up there a bit
Well, you
too.
got around the corner at least. Ugly spot from Ben here.
Yeah.
Kind of tomahawk, I believe.
Oh, looks like you did it all right. See if Paul can continue to drain these.
Oh yeah.
Oh, man. So steady at that distance.
Great up and down from Ben there.
Yeah.
Jared cleans it up.
Paul once again with the only bird on the card. Got a good rhythm going. Hole number 16 is the second easiest hole on the course, averaging almost a quarter stroke under par. So again, fairly short hole. Pretty straightforward, but just lots of little trees to hit.
Really tight little gap you got to hit there to start.
Okay, so they're getting out into a landing zone there and then making that right turn on the next shot. It's a tight gap, isn't it?
All right.
Looks like Jared hit that pretty clean.
Go. I like that.
Ben having to get creative from this spot. And kind of cut the corner there, it looked like. Super technical little shot there from Paul.
Looks like Ben's second utility shot kind of got him in some more trouble there. Oh,
Oh no. It's like he was behind the wall of those little skinny trees and decided to try flick roller. Does not work out for him. Pretty good bid there though. Hopefully it didn't scoot on him.
he's given some good scares to the baskets on those longer jump putts today.
Ooh. Alright, so a little work to do here. Oh. He's pretty frustrated with that. is par. Bird for Alex.
I believe so. Jared with frustrating bogey, and Ben and Paul both coming in with a par. For every birdie, there were 2 bogeys or worse on this hole. It's the 4th toughest hole to par on the course. So, par 3, you see it coming in. It doesn't look like a very hard hole until you get right up to time to putt. And look at all these little wispy things blocking your way.
Doing a little catch cam / spotting action here. Just a little early from Paul. No one really getting up to the green here yet. See if Jared can get one close. Oh yeah,
Nice shot. Give himself a good look at a bird there. Wow.
goodness.
What?
That's so good. I can see Ben there with his jaw hanging open.
We'll freeze that here in a second. It was a classic look by Ben.
He was way off in Timbuktu there.
What an amazing shot. Obstructed, has to curl it around. So much of this stuff. And in the bucket. Just had to freeze Ben there. Look at that look. That's a classic. Whoa! Very nice shot, Paul.
Left himself a little meat on the bone there.
Nice. That's a really tough putt with all the obstruction that he had to deal with there. Alex able to clean up for his three. Nice birdie.
Yeah, it's a great deuce. So Paul's actually spit out there. It was not in the bucket.
Oh.
It hit chains though.
Oh, I thought he had that.
Just dropped out.
It's an amazing shot.
Solo bird from Jared there. Nice hole.
Hole 18 is a fairly easy finishing hole if you can get through this gap. It's a very tight gap. But after that, things open up except for that tree. But it's not a real long hole for these guys. In fact, 42% of our field finished up with a birdie on this hole. So getting out of that gap into the fairway is where you want to start. And then see if you can get yourself a look for the three. Ooh, that was close.
Yeah, dude.
That being a great shot.
That little,
Yeah,
that little kick
looks
did
like
there,
you want to
that
be on the left side there to access the green.
little kick.
That face spells relief. He thought he might have been into that tree.
Yeah, oh baby. Push. Nice shot. Yeah.
Maybe a little more height than he wanted there, but hit the gap. Asking for it to get up, but it should play.
Yeah, I'd like a little more, but just getting out that gap into the middle, you're doing okay.
Oh,
And as Ben will tell you, he's not going to be happy with that.
Nice shot, Ben. Nice looking shot.
finish up on the right side there.
Yeah, it got up the fairway a bit there.
Should be able to get up and down for his par fairly easily. That looked to be pretty good from Paul. Jared just a little pinch with that tree, but it's well done.
Yeah, made this hole look pretty easy.
Alex in a pretty good spot here.
Trying to make up his mind which way to go. We'll find a gap and get through there. Should work for him.
Ben's been running these all week. Let's see if he can cash one more. Oh my! Great bid there.
A little high, but good enough for Paul. Finish out his tournament with a 3.
Good birdie from Jared there. Alex taking the bird as well. Ben with the solo par.
Got a couple shots, just bonus coverage for you here. This is a guy named Kroll LaVisca. Some of you might have heard of him. Just had to show you this shot.
Do it.
I almost rang that up. Up shot from Noah Meinsma here. These guys are coming in to finish up the tournament. And normally I wouldn't show you this or talk about it because it's a spoiler alert, obviously, but there's really no spoilers with Kale because mostly always know Kale's going to win when he's in these tournaments. The dude has been so dominant for so many years. Amazing talent. Some of our gallery. And here's our card. They finished up. Alex was at -5 for the day. Finished tied for 4th for the tournament. Paul with a -8 also finished tied for 4th along with Alex. And then we had Jared, 3 down today, finishing at 8. And Ben, I think, finished at 11th. I didn't see it before it went down. But so I want to thank you for joining us for this coverage. And if you did not get a chance to watch some of the other rounds yet, we've got 3 lead card rounds and 3 chase card rounds from the 2021 Lake Superior Open. Beautiful venue, and I'm hoping we can get back there next year and film it again. So again, thanks for watching, and check out some of the other coverage if you haven't done so yet.